If you've scrolled on YouTube lately, you may have noticed something a little different. The inline play. It may seem like a small change, but it has the potential to completely change the way we think about content creation on YouTube. If we don't adapt, all of us could be missing out on tons of subscribers. What does the inline player mean to us as creators? Well, it means that a viewer isn't just going to click on a video because they like the thumbnail and title. They're going to click on it because the video looks interesting. The connection between the thumbnail, the title, and the video have to be seamless.
So how do we make sure that our thumbnails and titles stand out and make someone stop scrolling? To answer that, let's look at each stage of the viewer's journey, starting with the thumbnail. It's all about finding the right balance. The thumbnail needs to be unique enough from your competition to stand out, but similar enough to give a visual cue to your viewer about what niche your video is about. You can do this by researching thumbnails inside and outside your niche. More importantly though, the thumbnail needs to speak to your viewers' problems and how your video is going to solve it. When you make it bold and visually eye-catching with the right color scheme, contrast, and visual effects, you have a recipe for a great thumbnail that makes you stand out.
Let's say you have a video about how to get your kids to eat vegetables. A thumbnail that shows a happy kid with a piece of broccoli in their hands with the word yum is going to be much more effective than a thumbnail with a general stock image of a kid and broccoli. The first thumbnail speaks directly to the viewer's problem and makes a promise on how to solve it, while the second one is just kind of meh. But what about the title? Because it also needs to grab the viewer's attention and make them wonder what happens next. This could be a specific question to the viewer that makes them think about an answer. Or you could use a controversial statement that relates to their problem. Or make a promise to the viewer on how your video is going to solve their problem. Take our vegetable thumbnail again. A title like, "Do your kids hate veggies? Here's how to get them to eat them," is going to be much more effective than "Vegetable tips for kids." The first, once again, speaks directly to the viewer's problem and a promise to help solve it, while the second one is kind of dull. The title is also directly related to the thumbnail. Okay, they've stopped scrolling, now what? Your video will play shortly after because of the inline player. And because of that, it is more important now, more than ever, make sure the video is consistent with what you promise and delivering on that. When you do that, take out any sort of generic language or intro, like "Hey everybody," or having a branded intro. Instead, start off your video like you're talking to a friend. Use your title as the opening statement, and then follow it up with a few sentences connected to that. Look it over, and if you have some spots where you're giving out a little too much information, hold it back. You can ask a question or provide a cliffhanging statement. In the vegetable example, you could start off your intro to that video with something like, "My kids hated vegetables and every night it was a battle to get them to eat them. But then I discovered this one psychological trick and now they absolutely love it." And be sure to watch the entire video so you can use it too, and say goodbye to all the whining and the battles. Once again, this speaks directly to the viewer's problem and promises to solve it while leaving out the critical information. This intro also connects with the viewer by telling a personal story that will be relatable to that audience. It takes a few seconds and cuts out all of the fluff, which means that value is being delivered and being held back, which is going to lead the viewer to watch the video. But we all know this, getting a viewer to click is one thing. Getting them to stay is a whole nother battle. You need to check out this video right up here.